Stop trying to be your best self all of the time. Dun, dun, dun. Why did we look over at each other so
I
perfectly?
don't know, because we're both trying to do that.
We're on it today. Hi, friends. How's it going? It's Chrissy and Megan.
Hi, friends.
Welcome to Magic Made. No, but really though, stop trying to be your best self all the freaking time. Today we are going to talk about the idea of self-improvement, or is it self-rejection? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as two people who are all about growing and changing and shifting and, doing the thing.
Yeah.
This kind of thought that kind of rose up when we were chit-chatting the other day stopped us both in our tracks, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but I didn't really ever think about it as self-rejection.
Right.
To like work on yourself. I was like, what? No, it's like a positive thing. How could you be like rejecting self?
Right. But in reality, that's what you're doing. If you're saying this version of me is not good enough, I need to fix or change or, whatever you're trying to do, heal. I know, healing journey is like a big buzz topic right now, and has been for a bit. But yeah, if you look at it a different way and just kind of like change your lens, and how you view that, like it really can be detrimental and it can be a negative thing that you're chasing and you're trying to keep up with. And in reality, there's no end point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We're aging by the minute, all of us, things are changing every single day. We should be changing every single day.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then maybe something's wrong with you.
You're stuck.
But also, like, if you're on this journey of healing or fixing or maneuvering, trying to change something about you, then what you're really saying is that I'm not accepting or liking who I am right now.
Yeah.
And I think that is where people lose themselves so badly at times, honestly, because they think there is an end point. If I get, just talking about cosmetically, like if I get this treatment done, if I do this, or if I get down to this weight, then I'll be happier. If I get, if I do this ayahuasca, healing therapy, like, all of my trauma is going to go away. All of my hurt is going to go away. My depression will be healed. Like, it's like and there's like millions of books out there, and I am guilty of reading quite many of them.
Yeah, right. Which is a beautiful thing, right? Like to be able to serve yourself in getting information and resources.
Yeah, and I love learning about the human psyche, and I love learning about why and how people operate, and myself included. But I have been stuck in that little hamster wheel of I got to be better. I got to heal this. I got to do this. I got to go to the therapy, which I'm not knocking therapy at all. I think everyone should go to therapy, but it can get to the point where it's like almost like obsessive.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's next? And like, where are you trying to go?
Well, too, and I think like the reason why we're kind of bringing this topic here is because in life so often, right, we are just, we're looking for this attainable thing that is unattainable.
Right.
This end piece.
Yeah.
And at some point we're just rejecting in the space or place that we're in right now. So I think what we need to really unpack in this conversation today is kind of that balance, right? Because I think it's a fine line of like improving or healing and all of these things, because I know I 100% wouldn't be sitting here on a podcast if I haven't done some of the work and some of the healing. So that's important, but where does it become, maybe it could be either become maybe, I don't dare I say, a little bit toxic or like disserving to self if you're not finding kind of that balance and then honoring kind of where you are, and all you're doing is going, when I lose 10 pounds, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
When I get that project, I will feel self-fulfilled. and like I'm successful.
Right.
Right. So it's like this weird little teeter-totter that we have to kind of move about. Or almost like, for me, it's not even a teeter-totter because that's like can be balanced. It's more like a canoe.
I hate canoes.
I know. Why just get a kayak? They got a flat
Right, I
bottom.
know.
You got a better
who does
chance
a
of having
canoe
fun.
anymore? Canoes are done. We're canceling them.
I didn't know you felt so strongly about canoes, but here we are learning.
Well, side story. Can I tell just a little story? It has
Yes,
nothing
of
to do with
course.
what we're
I love side
about
stories.
to.
Side quests.
So like back in the day when I was in high school, I think I was 14 at the time. I may have snuck out of the house and got in huge trouble, or I don't know. I did something really bad, and my punishment. You're gonna laugh at this. My punishment was my parents took me on a Boy Scout camping trip, which involved canoeing down the river of I think we were in West Virginia or Virginia, I don't know, some giant river in the mountains, and that was my punishment, and I had to sit in a canoe with my mother and go down this river, and I got so burnt, like burnt to shit, and then I had to go to prom, I think the next week, and I looked like an insane person. So now when I think of canoes, I think
That's
of
all you
that.
have.
Yeah, and that was my punishment. I had to be around all these like gross, stinky, and it was like my younger brother's Boy Scout troop, like 1,000 boys. And my family, and at 14 at the time, that's the last place I want to
Yeah,
be.
you're like, no.
And so, yeah, anyways.
Sorry to bring that trauma up for you. Speaking of healing, maybe we
Right,
just healed it. Maybe
yes.
we healed it without
and
even
that's
knowing.
why I go to therapy.
Right? That one incident and that it. No.
Yeah. No, but
I love the side quest here. It's beautiful.
Sorry.
But no, but like at the end of the day, right? It is. It's like being in a canoe on a hot ass day, burning your skin off for what? Like, right? Like this cyclical like life thing that's gonna happen. We're gonna always be shifting. Life is a cha-cha.
Yeah.
It's not just like a straightforward line to the end.
Right.
And so I think it's so important for us to kind of figure out ourselves when we are on growth journeys. Like for me, like I want to know why. What am I doing this for? What's the purpose? What is it stemming from? Is it supportive? Is it belittling? Am I just like doing this to, like,
yeah.
I've been on like a health journey to feel stronger in my body and feel good and get my stamina up and just stay younger, right? Because we are aging by the minute always.
Right.
So stay, and I don't even want to use the word young, but like just stay vibrant in my body. Now doing it over the last year versus what it would have been like maybe 10 years ago, a whole different ball game. Because 10 years ago, I would have fully believed I would only be happy if I had definition in my triceps and, I fit into a certain size and I, whatever, these like little weird things. But now that I don't care what the size of my pants are, I don't care about the definition. If I can do things and not get winded, if I can feel, don't get me wrong. There's times when I'm like, oh, I feel the old knees. But like overall, I know I'm doing and keeping my bones and joints lubricated and challenged and whatever.
Yeah.
Those are two very different versions of the same type of journey.
Yeah.
And so I think stuff like that is something we really have to ask ourselves. Am I doing this to punish, to eradicate this current version of myself? Or am I actually doing something to lift it up, embrace it, make it feel, just better for where I envision myself moving towards, the life that I'm building, the business that I'm building, the creative project that I'm doing. Am I doing it to be supportive or destructive?
Yeah, and I think it's easy to fall into that like toxic little cycle and not even know it because you think you're doing a good thing.
No, yeah.
And I think that's why all these like these extreme coaches out there or whatever, they try to kind of scare you into these whatever program that they're trying to sell. But I think you can easily fall into just like an unhealthy relationship with yourself unknowingly because you think that you're trying to help yourself, you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to grow, you're trying to get out of this, like whatever you're trying to get out of or heal from X, Y, or Z. We all have our stories, we all have our life experiences. And but then also we're all different. So like my modality of healing is not going to look like yours. And and I'm healing from different, you're not me, so obviously.
I definitely did not go down a canoe with my mom with Boy Scouts. So we have some differentiations there.
And if you ask my family about that same story, they will probably tell you a very different version of the story because my mom's like, you didn't even touch the paddle. I rode the entire time.
Like, well, I didn't want to be
there.
just
like laid there and like suntanned / burned. But anyways, yeah, I've seen this just recently in kind of the parenting community and like I call it the crunchy community. So ever since my daughter was born almost 11 years ago, I've just done things naturally and that's just who I am as a person. I don't look at other people in any different way. But and I started to see recently a shift in like the scare tactics that the media and everything likes to use for everything, but that infiltrating like the health community and like the crunchy community, like fight, I don't feed my kids X, Y, or Z because it has this and that toxic whatever in, but it started becoming everything.
Right.
And it's like, well, don't feed your kids cherries because this and that, or don't get, don't put this lotion on your children and don't do, it could cause this and it could, and it's like, there has to be a point in time where you're like, enough is enough.
Right. And there's some discernment, right? Like everything is not going to be like this perfect, like you never put this on ever, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And it's scary. You get to the point where you're so scared, you're like, well, I'm not going to feed them or do anything with that, like whatever. Like when we get to that mindset with whatever it is,
but people
you're frozen in that and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
And I feel like this has kind of entered into a lot of different communities, especially the self-help and the self-growth realm of, because, I mean, think about where you're at in a mental state when you go and actively seek out a book about, like one of our other episodes, ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, what am I telling myself by seeking out this book and trying to help myself? I truly do want to help myself, but I am also telling myself, yeah, something's a little wrong with you, and you could either like take that as a positive and say, well, that's just me. Like, I'm going to celebrate me for who I am, but I'm going to try to improve these certain areas of my life because I'm needing that. And then but it's easy to fall into, the extreme side of that. And, oh, well, you need ketamine treatment and you need to go down to South America and do ayahuasca, or you need to fly over to another country and try this other drug that we have that is, claiming to cure horrible deep trauma. And, and everyone has their life story and has heavy, 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 heavy things that they might be carrying with them every single day. But like, we have to like take a pause as humans and like give ourselves a little bit of a shaking and tell ourselves, no, you were created to be here just the way that you are.
Yeah.
And like come back down to earth a little bit. Yeah. And like, and maybe look back in a positive way and find those positive things that you've done in your life and like lift up that like energy a little bit and that mood, and then approach the thing that you're trying to learn to do better or to grow into, or to add to your skill set or to help your organizational skills or whatever it might be.
Yes. Yeah.
But like come from that grounded standpoint, because you can easily just like get sucked up in that hamster wheel. And if you're doing self-growth and learning all these things, and then but then taking it all personally and internalizing it and not like, I mean, you're going to be a shell of a human,
Right.
you
Well, and I
know?
think it goes back to being really honest with yourself
Yeah.
of like, what is your why? Like, I'm huge on whys and like
Mm.
promise statements, like a promise statement to yourself as just a human. Like, what is your promise statement or mission statement, whatever you want to call it, like to yourself? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I want to be, someone who lives a kind, gentle, open life, whatever. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, something that would
Yeah.
be a part of my mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
I want to nurture and love the people around me. And like, if you make a mission statement, if you're then in a journey of self improvement or making, some sort of call to shift or change, go back to that mission statement and say, does
Mm.
this actually support this?
Mm-hmm.
And what of it do I need to keep like within myself? And what do I need to pull in for resources and tools?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it without getting to the extreme situation where it's like, I'll never feed my kid a cherry again,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, I'll never,
Mm-hmm.
do this, or I can only have a piece of cake if I go to the gym today.
Yeah.
These are extreme ways of thinking, right?
Right.
And or I'll only grow my business if I invest in this,
Master course
yeah,
or
master course
whatever.
that puts me to a point where I'm potentially, having credit
Yeah.
card debt because it's the only way I can pay for that.
Mm.
Is that actually what's going to support you right then? If you go back to your why and you're like, well, this checks it off. Okay, well, then that might be for you. But this one, you know what? That doesn't feel in alignment with me. And honestly, part of the thing that's really important to me is not putting myself into debt or whatever. Like for me,
Yeah.
we really work very hard to stay in a very healthy financial situation as best
Mm-hmm.
possible. And so if it's going to put me that's going to put me in danger, might not be the option for me. Can I get some of this information in a different way?
Yeah.
Sticking true to yourself so that you're not self-abandoning, you're not self-rejecting.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to really what your needs and calling are,
Mm.
and not thinking I'm doing what the world tells me. Cuz let's be honest, we live in a world where we think that everything knows better.
Yeah.
We'll leave ourselves over at the door. We'll just like
Right. Yeah.
we'll leave our entire integrity at the
Mm-hmm.
door to go, "Oh, that's shinier, bigger, better, beautiful. They look so much more healthy and happy over there. I'm going to go over there." Meanwhile, that person that looks so happy, healthy, and grounded hasn't eaten all day because they think
Mm-hmm.
that they need to, lose a few pounds to be their healthiest, happiest version, or they haven't slept in weeks because they are up trying to do 10 courses to get
Mm.
somewhere faster.
Yeah.
Is that really, on the outside it might look beautiful and pretty, but they're not listening to themselves, but you
Right.
don't know that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so, wow.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to, and I know we've touched on this, and because it's always going to come up into conversation, but that comparison side of things too.
Yeah.
We got to be careful, and we have to have this internal dialogue that is needed. I think I have not talked to myself in my head
Mm-hmm.
more than I have in the last year,
Yeah.
and being
Same.
like blatantly clear with what I'm doing every single
Mm-hmm.
day
Yeah.
and how I'm doing it and if it's serving me or not, or expressing to myself, specifically my husband, because that's obviously the person I see the most, talk to the most, all that, like expressing to him like something that I'm like working on, working through, or stepping back from.
Yeah. Yeah.
That inner chatter is so important, and listening to it and allowing it to be fruitful, not
Mm-hmm.
frightful.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it kind of just, it goes back what we touched on in the ADHD episode is like trusting yourself
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost,
Yeah.
and trusting that you are here for a reason and you're made perfectly imperfect just the way that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do start spiraling into those, oh, someone I love just wrote a book about loving yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to read it. But then you have to pause and like really think like, do I just want to be more like this person? And that's why I want to read this book about, whatever she wants to teach me today. Or am I really needing this right now? Because sometimes, I'm guilty of it, picking up a book, or even listening to a podcast and like not thinking I need something, but then really not needing it. Or like, or just being one more extra thing to like put on my plate to stress me out. And
Noise.
take up time. Yeah. And space in my brain. And like, so coming from that grounded standpoint, knowing that you're perfect just the way that you are, and even saying that to yourself as an affirmation. And like saying that to yourself repeatedly. And at first it's going to feel stupid, like talking to yourself.
Does.
Right. But like
it always does. I mean, honestly.
I utilize affirmations like on the regular now. And it's in those moments, and it's helped me like realize better where my head's at and what I have the energy to take in. Because your energy is everything. And for me, like I want to be my best self for my children. I want to be my best self for my husband and for myself. But that's not me saying there's something wrong with me.
Right.
And I'm not betraying myself or rejecting who I am right now because of something I want to get better at in the future. I'm going to love myself right now 100%, just where I'm at, what I'm doing, and what the universe is handing me, in hopes and focus solely on my goals and things for the future. But that has nothing to do with my quality of being or who I am and how good enough I feel right now.
Preach.
And like my talent and the things that I, like you have to kind of take it all into account, because we all, mental health is like a very prominent thing right now. And I'll say it in every episode, therapy is everything. Find yourself a very, very, very good therapist, because even like thinking one way, you sit in front of someone who's totally removed from your life, and they can kind of show you, oh, well, that's probably because of this, and you're like, holy crap.
You don't say.
And you're like, oh, well, I was reading this book in hopes that it would just like fix me and fix that.
We always think the answer's outside of us,
But like also, like not everyone, and I think I've learned this with age, not everyone knows the answer, and not everyone is an expert. And the people that we look to, like that write the books, man, you could write a freaking book. Like I could write a book about how to, I don't know, arrange a fake plant. And I don't do that shit on the regular. And I don't like fake plants, so like, but I could write a book about it.
You could figure out how to make it seem interesting and do the thing, and get somebody inspired by it, but it's not necessarily like
and someone out there be like, oh my God, I don't know how to arrange fake plants, but like I'm gonna read this book and it's gonna be the answer to my fake plant arranging hobby or profession. For a huge lack of a good example.
You're like, I'm pulling out of here. But no, I mean, it's super, super poignant to remind us of that, because like we do live in a world of everybody's an expert. And everybody's got the answers. And everybody's, like if I follow exactly what they do it. Like last night I was teaching and we were doing all that jazz, if anybody's a musical lover out there. And like the Fosse style is very specific. It's very like sultry and like whatever. And I could not tell you how many times throughout, as I was giving the choreography to people, put your own stamp on this. Our bodies, our mechanisms, the way we actually articulate. Like two people could go like this, like a jazz hand, which is very like Fosse. Like two people go like this, but somebody might go more like this. Like it's these nuances are what make us us. And so I said multiple times throughout teaching, like this is the foundation. This is the movement, down, up, kick, this, whatever. Now, you take it and you put your own flair on it. Let your body do what's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We do the same for our brains.
Right.
You do the same for our journeys, our choices in our self-growth. Like, if we can really just understand that everybody's journey is different. And this expert may have some great nuggets, but they are not the end all be all.
Right.
And they don't know everything. Same with doctors, right? They've only experienced so many things, right? But there could always be somebody that has a roadblock because they've never had a patient with this, or they've never seen it in real life. Maybe they saw it in a textbook, but in real life it's totally like different than it would present, and they have to figure that out, or maybe they can't and they have to refer to a different one. Like, no matter how expert somebody is, you are the expert of yourself.
Yeah.
And your mind, body, spirit, and soul.
And I think that's like where people get lost, is like
so
believing
lost.
that.
Yeah.
Because there's way more people out there telling you that you're not.
Yeah. Like, you're broken. Let me fix you. I've got the glue. Let's go. And you're like,
and trying
what?
to scare you, like, scare tactic, I mean, is a huge, I mean.
Yeah. It's called pain points in marketing for a reason.
Yeah.
You're literally shoving a knife in somebody's side saying, this hurts, doesn't it? I've got the fix.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Instead of, how about, like, let's call it a relief point.
Yeah.
You are needing support or a resource. These are the things that I know. I feel like it's very important for me, and I try, like, even in my own content, to be like, this is just like a thought. Or even here on our podcast, like, these are thoughts. These are our thoughts, our lived experiences, tips and things that we've brought to the table that we thought. But by no means do we know all the things.
Right.
Nor do we want to pretend that. Like, I always say, like, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. Like, I'm not an expert and I don't play one on TV, and I'm not one on the podcast either. Like,
And
listen
what
because you want inspiration, not because you want the exact answer. Right.
And what resonates for you is not going to resonate for me, and vice versa. Like, you know, like I've been, that certain person in your life that you've been trying to, like, kind of nudge a little bit, you know, to do these types of things or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like you see someone who wants to stay right where they want to be and not improve or try to do better. Like, my brain doesn't comprehend that.
Same.
And, like, I don't comprehend people like that don't want to just learn something new.
Yeah.
Especially about themselves.
Yeah.
But
it's just scary for some people, I think.
Yeah.
Their brains are just like a very dusty cobweb attic sometimes, and it's like, I don't know what's behind there.
Yeah, and
so
that's like one extreme. Like, someone who's just like, nope, not doing it, is what Bodhi would say, my little guy. Nope, not doing it. And then on the other extreme is like, you're stuck in that hamster wheel. Like, I need to, I'm not healed. I have to keep going. I have to do the thing. I have to listen to this person. I have to read this book. I have to do this and this and this and this and this and this, and not even coming down to earth and realizing, like, I am so like, not happy with myself right now.
Yeah.
And, like, if I, like, boiled it down to that and started there, like, being unhappy with yourself or insecure or whatever it might be one little smidge of something that you're trying to fix. Like, I mean, that could easily get out of hand. Both sides
Well, right.
could get
Both
out of
sides.
hand.
It's like we have to pull the little dot in the middle. You know, like the little slider things. You know, you have to pull it to the middle and go, where is this, like, kind of healthy balance? And, like, I'm going to use the example of myself, like, with my walk with anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, I have healed so much in that, right? But sometimes I wake up with anxiety in my chest.
Yeah.
And if I woke up every time that happened and was like, oh shit, I better go and do all these things, otherwise I'm not better than I was 10 years ago, that would be ridiculous. The reality is, human life is going to ebb and flow, and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go, okay, oh, this sucks. Okay, man, I don't want to backpedal. I don't want to go back to here where I'm stuck and I won't do anything about it, but I just want to complain about it and be scared and overwhelmed and da-da-da-da. But I also know it's not good to go to this side. What can I do? I know what helps me. I'm going to get up and go on my vibration plate. I'm going to go move. And I'm going to go, maybe I'll take a walk. Like, what's going to help me in this is not beating myself up over it and not thinking I got to go do everything under the sun. But I do know there's a couple things that are
Right.
like
You have
age
your
old
toolkit.
help,
Yeah.
you know? And if those still don't work, I have to go, you know what? I'm human today.
Yeah.
And I know that every day that I wake up with anxiety in my chest or catastrophic thoughts, the next day comes and it flows and it goes, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's that like quiet, still voice of going, wait a second.
Yeah.
Where are we at on this little scale and what's good? And if you're in a season where you're in one of those, super, super stuck or super, super like super healer person, you
Yeah,
know, like
you
you're
keep
wearing the cape,
going. You
you're wearing
can't
the cape.
find the answer. Yeah.
Let's try to like have a moment. Maybe the call to action today is that you get quiet with yourself and you try to maybe like get a little swiffer and get the cobwebs out of the brain if you're on the stuck side. And if on the hamster wheel side, you find your brake pedal and you take a deep breath and you ask yourself some questions. You think about your personal mission statement. What's most important to me right now? And by the way, personal mission statements can change over time. So what is it right now in this season? And pick just one little moment to breathe into it and say, I'm doing good, man. And here's what I'm going to do to support myself. And here's what I'm going to let go that doesn't support me, that I've been trying to keep a hold on, but it's exhausting. Let it go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And just remember that little affirmation that you are here for a reason and you're perfect just the way that you are. And just repeating that over and over again, I think can help you come from a grounded standpoint and approach the things about growth and healing and all the things from a healthier, more stable, centered energy rather than there's something wrong with me, I need to fix it. And just wanting to be a better version of you instead of wanting to fix or heal or change something about yourself.
Yeah.
So
What better way to end the episode when it's just like, I feel like we both just went from fiery to like grounded energy and yeah, sail into the day and the week with that top of mind. Sail
into the week. All right, Megan.
I'm corny. What can I say? Sail into the week with those thoughts and vibes and energies. And we're always here as a resource, you know. We want to hear from you. We want to hear, you know, in the comments, you know, if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, I should say, pop in. Let us know, you know, what's working for you to stay grounded in yourself. Not what's working for you to change and do this acrobat. Like what's working in your life that's just keeping you grounded. We want to hear and be inspired by you. So we love y'all.
Yeah.
See you soon.